Here is the material you need for this project. 2 colors of yarn, and I am using beige and light blue. This is a braided cord, about 2.5 millimeters thick. Along with that, I am using a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, scissors, and a yarn needle. You will also need a plastic snap button for the flap. Let's begin with the blue yarn. Make a slip knot and place it onto your hook. Now, we are going to make 20 chains for the foundation. You can adjust the size by increasing or decreasing the number of chains. Just make sure it's an even number. Once you have 20 stitches, chain 1 more. This is our turning chain, so we will not be working into this stitch. So I will start working into the second chain from the hook. Now working back down the chain and skipping that turning chain. You can insert your hook into one loop like this, or into both loops of the chain. And I prefer working into 2 loops to make the stitches sturdier and prevent any large gaps in the foundation row. Then make the first single crochet. You can use a stitch marker here to mark your first stitch if you need to. From here, continue to make 1 single crochet into every stitch until you reach the end of the foundation chain. Now that we have 20 stitches in total, turn it over and then continue working into the remaining loops on the other side of the foundation chain. So make 1 single crochet into each loop. Take the yarn tail at the back, then place it over your hook and work a single crochet as usual. This is how you hide the yarn tail while you crochet. Then just continue with 1 single crochet in every loop, working over the yarn tail at the back. By the time you finish, you should have a total of 40 stitches for your first round. To finish, make a slip stitch into the very first stitch we made. Begin round 2 by chaining 2. Keep in mind that this chain does not count as a stitch. In the same stitch where we just made the slip stitch, make 1 double crochet. This is our first stitch of the round, so mark it with stitch marker if you need to. Now continue to work 1 double crochet into every stitch all the way around. Until the end of the round, we have 40 double crochets in total. Once you finish your last double crochet, make sure to count your stitches to be precise. It's easy to mistake the previous slip stitch for a new stitch. To end the round, insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Stop here with 2 loops on your hook because we are going to switch to the beige yarn. Hold the blue yarn firmly at the back, take the beige yarn and pull it through both loops on your hook. Start round 3 by chaining 2, and of course, this doesn't count as a stitch. In this round, I'm going to work into the spaces between the double crochets, not into the stitches themselves. Just like I'm pointing here, every 2 double crochets is a space where we will work. And in each of those spaces, I will make 2 double crochets. Right below this chain, I will start into this first space and make 2 double crochets. I will leave the blue yarn at the back. Do not cut it or carry it with you, as we'll need it for the next round. Then, skip the next 2 double crochets, and in the space next to them, make 2 double crochets. Keep repeating this pattern, skip 2 double crochets, then make 2 double crochets into the same space. By the end of the round, I will have 20 clusters of double crochet, which still gives us a total of 40 stitches. At the last space, after making 2 double crochets, you will see 2 double crochets left from the previous round. The way to finish the round is the same. Insert the hook into the first stitch, pull the yarn through, and stop here. I will switch back to the blue yarn. Take the yarn we left from the previous round and pull it through the 2 loops on the hook. Starting round 4 with the blue yarn and chain 2. Now look at the cluster of 2 double crochets we just made. It looks like a V shape, and I will call these V clusters. From this round, we will work 2 double crochets into the space in the middle of each V cluster from the previous row. It is like a V shape right on top of another V shape. Here is the V cluster right below, so make 2 double crochets into the space in the middle of it. Leave the beige yarn at the back. No need to cut it or carry it along. Then move to the next V cluster and repeat the same way. Make 2 double crochets into the space in the middle. Continue working 2 double crochets into the center of every V cluster all the way around. Until the end of the round, I still have 20 V clusters, totaling 40 stitches. Finish the round with a slip stitch into the first stitch. I still use the blue yarn for round 5, following the same steps as the previous round. Start the round with a chain 2, and again, I will not count this as a double crochet. Then continue to make 2 double crochets into each space between the V clusters until the end of the round. After finishing the last V cluster, I will change back to the beige yarn for round 6. Insert the hook into the first stitch, pull the yarn through, then take the beige yarn and pull it through the 2 loops. Continue the same way for the next rounds. Make 2 double crochets into the space between the V clusters. Finish the round and change to blue for rounds 7 and 8, then change to beige for round 9. I will show the pattern on the screen, so you can follow along easily. I'm going to speed up this part, so please take your time, work on your piece, and come back when you are finished. So round 7, 8, and 9 are done. Finish round 9 and change back to blue for round 10. For the next 3 rounds, I will make 1 single crochet into every stitch. The total number of stitches for each row is still 40. Finish round 10 by inserting the hook into the first stitch, then pull up a loop. Stop here, then switch to the beige yarn. Take the strand we left behind and pull it through the 2 loops on the hook. Start with a chain 1, then make 1 single crochet into every stitch until the end of the round. Continue, make 1 single crochet into every stitch to have 40 stitches in total. Finish round with a slip stitch into the first stitch. After finishing round 11, use scissors to cut the yarn and leave a short tail. Finally, make round 12 with the blue yarn. Make sure to carry the beige tail behind your stitches to hide it as you go. Continue, make 1 single crochet into every stitch to have 40 stitches in total. I'm going to do 1 more round of slip stitches as a border to make the edge thicker and sturdier. This is an optional round, so you can follow along or just skip ahead to the next step. At the last slip stitch, cut the yarn, leave a tail, and use a needle to secure the end. Leave in all the loose ends inside the bag and trim the excess. Repeat this for any remaining yarn tails. The body is now finished, so let's move on to the flap. Using the blue yarn, make a slip knot and place it on your hook. Then make a chain of 10 plus 1 more chain for turning. skip that turning chain and work into the next stitch. Again, you can use one or both loops, and then make one single crochet into every chain for a total of 10 stitches. After finishing 10 stitches, turn the work over. I will not chain one at the beginning of each new row anymore, as this will make the edges look neater after many rows. Make 10 single crochets for row 2. Repeat this for 5 more rows, so you have 7 rows in total with 10 single crochets. After finishing the 10th stitch of row 7, I will make single crochets around the other 3 sides. In the very last stitch of row 7, the same stitch as the 10th single crochet, make 1 extra single crochet. Then along the edge, make 6 single crochets along the side in a small hole. Then make 10 single crochets along the long edge into the remaining loops of the foundation chain. At the 10th loop, make 1 more single crochet there, which is an increase in the 10th loop. Then make 6 single crochets into the holes along the short edge. After finishing, cut the yarn, leaving a long tail, and it will be a bit longer because we will use it for sew the flap onto the body. The flap is about 6 centimeters long and 4 centimeters wide. And the dimensions of our wallet are 12 centimeters in width and 9 centimeters in length. Now grab your yarn needle and we'll secure the flap to the body. First, align the flap in the center of the back panel. Instead of the top edge, we're going to attach it to a specific row on the back of the wallet. Just follow my lead as I sew across that row to ensure the flap can fold over easily. Now that the flap is securely attached, let's move on to the closure. I will show you 2 different ways to do this. The first option is using plastic snaps, which require snap pliers to fix them in place. The second option is using a screwback stud. This is the easiest way because you don't need any special tools. You just screw it on by hand. First, find the right spot for your button. From the inside, push the screw through your work. And then, place the metal stud on top from the outside and twist it on until it's nice and tight. The flap will simply hook over the button like this. For the second option, I'm using plastic snaps. A snap set has 4 parts, 2 caps, 1 socket, and 1 stud. First, let's attach the top part to the flap. Poke the point of the cap through the center of the flap from the outside. Then, place the socket onto that point from the inside. Position it into the snap pliers, making sure the cap sits perfectly in the black rubber tray. Now, give it a firm squeeze to secure it in place. Next, I will do the same for the body of the wallet. This time, the cap goes on the inside of the front panel, and the stud goes on the outside. Align it carefully with the top snap, then use your pliers and press down firmly. And here, these snaps are now installed and should click together perfectly. So I finished a small card wallet with a lovely textured look. This is another quick and easy way I usually make a functional accessory, and it's perfect for when you just want to carry. And that's it for today's tutorial. I hope you love how your card wallet turned out. If you give it a try, I'd love to hear how it went or see your finished piece. So if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more crochet projects. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.